What is up, beautiful people? It's your boy Justin Martin. We have a lot to talk about. 2019 is winding down, and this year has been crazy good on so many levels. From my family, from working at Notre Dame, the business, YouTube, Rek Culture, so many things. And just, being in the mindset of all the good stuff, I did feel overwhelmed. So that's why I took the month of December just to not post anything, just kind of spend time with the family, write more, just plan more for 2020, because we are ending a decade. That's kind of crazy to think about. We're ending 10 years and now we're starting another 10 years. And so I really wanted to make 2020 special moving forward on so many levels. Now that my wife and I have our first baby, that's been great, but that's such a learning curve. And so trying to manage that and make sure I don't take time away from my family versus, doing all the things I want to do of traveling and work. Same thing with my wife, giving her the space that she needs so she can do and fulfill the work that she wants to do. It was a lot to just kind of think through. And that's why I just kind of took a step back. I can take that time and do that without any pressure, because YouTube for me is not where I'm trying to make money. I do have different resources. Obviously, I have a 9-to-5 job as a filmmaker, and I own a business. But YouTube has always been a nice, fun way to just put out my thoughts, my ideas about filmmaking, photography, just being a creative in general, and sharing that with you all. And that's what I really like doing. Now, shifting to this channel, I already touched on it a little bit, but obviously I'm in a new space. Excuse the echo. There's really nothing on the walls here. It's just my camera, light, and mic right now. So you kind of bare bones, but it's a great start. Shout out to my friend Sarah, who's allowed me to use this space to film in and make content. So there will be some updates with that coming along as well. But very excited to have my own space, because up until this point, I've been doing all my videos inside my apartment or whatever home I was living in. So it was always kind of tough, because it's, that combination of where you live and where you work, it's not always a good combination. Coming to this channel, I just want to thank everyone who has supported this channel with the comments and the shares and the likes, and just kind of talking about the different types of reviews that I put out, the type of work that I put out. I just really appreciate from the beginning those who have followed me from my small, still relatively small channel when I was talking about like photo tutorials and all that stuff, and transitioning to filmmaking. So I really appreciate that, because it's been fun. It's been something I could look back on and really say that I have, actually met you all through this channel, which has been great, from the different types of events that I've been to. So I just want to keep that going, and hopefully moving forward, I can give a little bit more back. That's what I like about YouTube. It's like I can be this creator where I can actually give back and give more resources, whether it be prizes or tutorials or whatever it is. I can't wait to just do that, so I can just continue to share with you all, and you guys can share with me. So yeah. But I think that one of the biggest things coming up for this channel next year, and I want to be upfront and open about it, there will be sponsored content coming. And it's kind of interesting that it is kind of looked down upon when creators are starting to get sponsored ads or paid partnerships or stuff like that. And I just want to, just not to preach to the choir or anything, but as a small channel for me, I think that's huge. It allows me to be more flexible. Allows me to actually gain more resources so I can actually deliver better content. And that's what I really want to do, is deliver better content. And this is a way for me to do that. Now, not to say that I'm picking up any type of sponsor. Some of the sponsors that have reached out to me, some of the companies that have reached out to me are actually things that I've used in the past or I've been wanting to use. Now, one partnership I'm very excited for is Epidemic Sound. Now, partnership is different from a sponsorship. Basically, I'm gonna be an ambassador for them, and I actually enjoy using their platform. One thing that made me love what they were doing and offering is that you can download stems. Now, if you don't know what stems are, there will be another video later on breaking down how you can use this. So if you like a song and you don't want a particular humming or voice in it, you don't have to use that. You can just use the other 3 stems, the bass line, the snare, whatever they give you. Yeah, there will be a tutorial on that, but basically that just gives me a lot of creativity, a lot of creative freedom for me to kind of mix and match the type of music or the how I want to play the emotion, or however I want to do with that song, rather than downloading one song and only having to use that song and not be able to mix it up or chop and screw it however you want it. Whew. Breathe. So that's one of the biggest things I really enjoy about using Epidemic Sound, is the ability to have almost complete creative control over the sound, especially with like the sound effects that they have. They have a huge sound effects library, and just a new library search on the website, and being able to find new types of artists. If you are interested, there is a link in the description below. You can sign up for a free month. Give it a try. I guarantee that once you start using the stems, you're gonna be like, wow, I actually need to use this in my day-to-day creative workflow. They do have a couple packages. They have the creative package, which is like $15 a month, and they have the new commercial plan. That's $50 a month, and that plan covers all. That covers any type of commercial work, business work, social media. That just has a complete license, which is great. So if you're using it as a small business like I am, that's going to come in handy without having to get different licenses. Like from MusicBed, that thing is expensive. But now I have a much more wider reach and wider way to add music into my content without being penalized with copyright, because it's already covered. Anyway, if you do that, there is a promotional code too as well if you use Joshua when you sign up. And yeah, I went too long on this. Stay tuned, there will be a tutorial on this as well. Lastly, Rek Culture, that is coming along nicely. I did put that on pause, obviously, but there is a lot more content coming to Rek Culture. And eventually I'll be moving Rek Culture from my current YouTube channel and having its own. It's going to be about the community. That's what Rek Culture is. In case if you didn't know, make sure to watch some of the videos that are already on my channel. But that will be moving to its own YouTube channel in the near future, hopefully by February. But it's been going really great. I really want to try to make it a little bit more different than what you normally see, but just good reviews, but hopefully give more insight, more impactful insight of just like the pre-production of filmmaking, as well as selecting the gear that you actually need, as well as using the gear that you already have and making good content. So that's what I'm hoping for Rek Culture moving forward. So stay tuned with that. So lastly, was I looking down? My monitor is at the bottom here, so if I look down, that's because I'm trying to see what I look like. And I got this huge zit right in the middle of my forehead. And lastly, to wrap up this video, I just want to just end on some of the questions you guys asked me from one of my latest posts on Instagram. And I just want to just give my feedback on them. What is your go-to wide angle prime for a gimbal work using a Pocket 4K? I don't think this is a surprise, but I don't use a gimbal. But I would definitely suggest the SLR Magic 8mm lens, or the 12, or the Laowa. One of those really wide angle lenses that are rectilinear. They're small. The smallest one is the SLR Magic 8mm. That is a great lens, all around lens. It's not the fastest, it's f4. I made a couple reviews on it, but the image out of it is pretty good. But yeah, I don't use gimbals that much, actually at all. How did you get started in videography? What and who was your inspiration? Loaded question. I'll try to make this very short. I got started my sophomore year in college. My university opened up a new program, documentary of film making, and I took all the classes because at the time I was pretty far ahead of most of my photo classes, and so I wanted something to challenge me a little bit more, and video sure did. I love the art of trying to capture a story with motion, and I've been hooked ever since. My inspiration was at the time my professor Paul Kim, as well as my other professor Mark Olum. And they've been such a support of my career and where I am now. So they were my biggest inspirations moving forward. They pushed me, challenged me, as well as gave me very life-changing advice. So they were my biggest inspiration starting out, still are, and I always try to make them proud. What lens are you eyeing right now? I'm really interested in the SLR Magic APO micro primes. I did a quick review on it when I was at Profusion. Yo, that lens is a game changer in terms of price, size, and so many other things. It's a very sharp lens compared to the other hyper primes they've had in the micro primes, but I definitely want to get my hands on that. So yeah, waffles or pancakes? Belgian waffles for sure. And then the last question I'm going to answer, it says, how have you found it being a father, and has it made a difference to your creativity? Being a father has been life-changing, obviously. There's so much that goes into your thought process, the way your habits are. For me personally, I really just reflect on who I was before as a father, who I am as a father, and who I'm going to be as I continue to be a father. And so it's hard to answer that, but it's changed my life, period. I have a sole responsibility to take care of my wife, to take care of my daughter, on so many levels, on the mental side, spiritual side, and it's just something that's always constantly on my mind. How's it changed? How's it differed in my creativity? I mean, I get inspired in a way when I see my child, her happiness, or when she's crying, just the raw emotions that I see from her. So I don't know, in a way, I just kind of just record that in my mind. I just think about it. It just affects me on an emotional level as a human. It's so complex. Humans are just so complex. And this next level of being a father, it just shows more of the complexity of being a human being. So, I don't know really how to answer that. But, I appreciate everybody who's been on this journey with me. Again, make sure to check out the links in the description. There is more content coming your way now that I'm in this office space. Very happy, very, very humbled, very blessed. And you know what? I could just catch you guys on the next one. I think this is a very, very long video. So, deuces.